somebody's accidentally turned on the windscreen wiper at the back. We're not really good at being automotive journalists. We just fumble our way all the way through this. I have no idea what was done. It was probably me. Hang on. Okay guys, so today we've got the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, as you might have seen from the vlog, sort of. We're going to have now a full review. It's going to be... It is certainly a very pretty car.
The lighting and the V over here, I love it.
It is a special car. I'm loving the car itself, but we're going to get into it. We're going to give you our thoughts.
Yeah, just before we go inside the car, why don't we just give them a little bit of a walk around?
Okay, we'll give them a walk around.
Okay. Because, I mean, look at the shape of the light.
Oh, the lights.
The daytime
the lights themselves. Oh, they're just so incredible. It's so Alfa. And that V front grille, you're not going to find that on any other car. It truly does look really good.
It looks like the Giulio, but...
Well, that's essentially all it is, isn't it? This is just the Giulia.
Giulia, I said Giulio.
Giulia? Giulio?
The Giulio Quadrifoglio. We are terrible in
Giulia
Italian.
Quadrifoglio.
We are terrible in Italian.
We aren't. Ahmed is. So...
It looks immense.
It does look really good.
And
you're not going to get a better...
And if you walk over here to the back...
Okay.
So, the rims...
Oh yes, the wheels.
20 inch, man. 20 inch.
They don't look it, but they really are. They're so good. And these aren't even the best ones. The Quadrifoglio definitely has the best ones. And I would like to say before we start anything, this isn't the Quadrifoglio. This is the Veloce model, which we will go into details what the difference is later.
Look at...
Right?
Just take a look at the massive exhaust.
They are pretty pretty.
I know the real exhaust is here, but this is
it's just a fantastic design.
Yeah. So, I think we should go back inside.
Yep.
And start our review of the Stelvio.
Yes.
So, we'll see you
Stay tuned. What's he done? So we're starting off with me driving this time.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not.
I'm not liking it much, but
you haven't got a choice.
You can have your fun. So, what do you have here today?
So, as we've said, we're in the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, not the Quadrifoglio,
sadly,
but the Veloce.
Yes.
Veloce or
Veloce. Veloce.
Anyway.
I think I know. I don't think I know my Italian, but anyway,
well,
Veloce.
The Italian one.
So, what this car has, let's say, in the Veloce edition, what does it have when it comes to
Well, it's
power?
got a few extra bits.
Okay.
So there are 4 models. You're going to get your base edition, your first edition, your Veloce, and your Quadrifoglio. The Quadrifoglio tops the range, having the most power, the most items included. The Veloce, which this model is next. The first edition was obviously when the car was new.
Okay.
And the base edition is your bog standard car. So what comes with this edition is you're going to get the flappy paddle gearbox.
Mm-hmm. The steel flappy paddle. They are steel, which is not cheap.
Oh,
it feels nice.
Do I enjoy it. Oh, and they're big as well, so you always, and because they're always there and they're big, you always know where they are.
Exactly.
It comes with the 8-inch
Screen.
Thank you. Infotainment system.
Yes. It comes with
a little bit more power
than the first edition.
than the first edition and the base edition are basically the same. I think there's like a few badging differences. That's all. But the Veloce edition, it's got this wonderful steering wheel, and it's got the buttons thingies.
Yes.
The thingy for buttons for the core. So
I forgot what it's called either. Anyway,
the buttony thing, and it's got this awesome start-stop sign button,
which
here.
is read on the quadrifolio. Honestly,
Quadrifolio sounds like you're touching something.
Quadrifolio. So, touching a little bit on the history of the. I know we're not driving the quadrifolio.
No, but
Okay.
so
Yes.
we'll start with Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo are this, you know, they've got such a strong heritage for not just sports cars, but you know, the sports brand itself. Alfa Romeo were actually the first racing team to win the Grand Prix. And they were, at the beginning, Ferrari was a subsidiary of Alfa Romeo, which shows that really this brand has amazing heritage. And it was actually you earlier that was telling me something really interesting about the quadrifolio name.
Yes.
Because I forgot.
It means the four leaves clover. Okay, I forgot an R. Sorry. Okay, so it's the four-leaf clover. So the history of that is that one of the Alfa Romeo's racing drivers, I'm not gonna pronounce his name because probably I'm gonna say it all wrong.
We'll call him Steve.
Okay, Steve. Okay, he had a bad streak luck. Okay, he had a streak of bad luck actually, coming second place in most of the races he participates on.
Yep.
So what he did is he on the side of his car he drew a blank square, and then he painted the
Four-leaf clover. And obviously the four-leaf clover is good luck.
Yes. So surprisingly, on the same, or actually on the very next race where he had his symbol painted, he won the race. So he actually he considered it good luck. But then he was testing a car, but they forgot to paint the symbol on that car, and sadly he crashed and died.
Wait, what?
Yes, he crashed and died on the very first time that he drove after the symbol without
So he only
it.
won one race?
He won one race after putting the symbol. So Alfa Romeo actually, what they did in his honor, okay, is that they painted the same symbol on their cars, but missing a corner. So instead of a square, it became a triangle, to become the symbol of, quadrifolio and the racing, anything related to racing, anything related to performance. So that's the history behind the quadrifolio or quadrifolio.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
So Alfa Romeo are this prestigious brand, and they've always been car fans, car nuts, car geeks. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson and the trio of
they're
them,
all fans of Alfa Romeo.
Always say a true car guy or car girl,
a car person,
automotive nuthead.
yes,
they do and always should own an Alfa.
yes.
Now, Alfas have always been breathtaking to look at, and honestly, this one is absolutely no different. This Alfa is probably one of the nicer ones they've made in the last 20 years, and really what they've been starting to do since the 4C really, and the Giulia included, is create a new brand for themselves. They're re-emerging in markets like the US and here in the Middle East, and that's great, because I do believe that honestly more people should try these cars. They are, and I do like them, they're great sort of alternatives. So pricing is based very similar to that of the base Macan, very similar to that to the Audi Q5, the BMW, I'm not sure if it's the X3, I think it's the X3.
We'll check on that and see if it is or not.
Yes.
Continuing.
But honestly, you don't buy one of this model, you don't buy the Veloce, even though it's basically Italian for fast or speed. Yes, it's fast. Yeah. Yes, you don't buy this model because it's fast, weirdly. Italians. You buy this one because you can use it every day. It is a daily at the end of the day. And it is the kind of car I would buy for my mum, because I know it will work It'll be incredibly different to everyone else. She'll stand out for it.
It's an Italian car at the end of the day.
And it is an Italian car, and it just is so beautiful. I would buy the Quadrifoglio for myself, and I, you know,
two for me, one for him. I would buy the Quadrifoglio or a Quadrifoglio, whatever the pronunciation
Please stop saying
is.
Filio, it's Folio.
It looks like it's supposed to be pronounced as
Ahmed, there are no E's.
There is the Quadrifoglio.
Folio.
So it could be the Quadrifoglio.
There we are.
Please correct us, anyone who knows Italian, who has the proper pronunciation, or if we're both wrong, just tell us what is the proper pronunciation. Continuing on.
Anyway, it's an incredibly smooth car to drive. It's easy to drive, it's comfortable, it's maneuverable easily at low speeds, and stiff at high speeds. So you know that, like what I said when I give it to my mum, that it's not going to be a hard car for her to drive. It's not going to break any lap records, this model anyway. We do know that the Quadrifoglio does hold, as of now, the fastest lap record around the Nürburgring for an SUV, which is incredibly
it's incredible
impressive.
for any car, yeah.
I mean, faster technically than the Urus, which is...
We'll see about that when we try it.
Well, no, around the Nürburgring.
Okay.
Around the Nürburgring. Not perhaps around, you know, Bahrain Bay.
So, continuing on with the car itself, I mean, from the outside, the exterior is stunning. It's very beautiful, it's very attractive. It looks different than any other car you see on the road.
So, in my opinion, for the price bracket, it is the prettiest car in the range. And the steering wheel, your center console, where you look, it's really sporty. You've got this sleek design, sporty large dial thing.
Yes, dials, gauge cluster.
Gauge cluster, thank you. And quite honestly, one of the nicest steering wheels fitted to an SUV. Because it's so sporty. It's taken from obviously the sports cars. It's in the Quadrifoglio, through the Giulia, and through the Stelvio itself. So honestly, I really do like it.
This is the first SUV that Alfa Romeo actually does.
Yes, that is correct.
So it's their first venture into the small SUV market, and from what we're seeing right now, as let's say a start of venturing into the SUV market, it's a really good start. I mean, yes, you're not expecting a Urus. Yes, you're not expecting a Range Rover.
And it's not in that price point though. So, you know, it's in maybe the Evoque's price point. And what you get for your money is more than I would say you get for the Evoque. The Evoque is a car that has been taken from a cheaper version of a cheaper version of a cheaper version of a car. The Alfa Romeo, the Stelvio, is its own car. It's its own monster, and should be treated as such.
There's nothing wrong with the Evoque, and that's what I would say.
No, there's nothing
wrong with it, but it serves a different purpose.
Yes.
To the Stelvio.
Yes, 100%. And that is what I believe is so impressive with the Alfa. It's its own kind of thing. It's its own, what's the word to say? It's hard to describe how I would describe this car. It's unique. It's its first venture into something, and they've done a good job, and that's not something that should be a compliment, the fact that they've done something well for the first time. It's the fact that there was this company that has been around for well over 100 years now, with all this fantastic prestigious background. The car, in my opinion, is an amazing daily driver, and that's what it was built to be. It's easy to use, which is why I said for your mum. It is comfortable, which, you know, look at the size of me. I'm a giant human being, and I have loads of room. The seat isn't all the way back. There's plenty of storage. You can carry 4 people here in relative comfort. If you wanted the more, you know, powerful version, there is a version for it. But this one isn't slow by any means. It will take you where you want to be. You can just a quick press of the pedal, and you can get that gap in the traffic. It's enough. The wing mirrors are easy to see from. It's got enough tech for you to deal with. It's got an amazing sound system. So now we're talking about the outside. Now, since we're stopped, I think what we might do actually is take you on the interior of the car, and what little, you know, do you not want to drive it? Features. I'll drive it. So I tell you what, you drive it first.
Okay.
And then we'll go through the features, because I've got a funny feeling that I'm going to be arguing with you a little bit.
Honestly, I don't know. It's going to be, you know, my first time driving it, so let's see. I have a few things that they don't just sit quite well with me. I mean, for a start, the steering wheel is too small, not too small, too narrow.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's not the, you know, a thick steering wheel that you feel like you're gripping something. It's a small steering wheel.
Whoa. Okay. I will address every single one of these issues, man. You do not diss an Alfa.
Okay.
Why do you need a thick steering wheel on a daily driver? They're not supposed to be. And here, you telling me that's not plenty thick. Look at the size of my hand.
This is a bit thicker than this, but
yes,
when you're holding over here, you feel the steering wheel is a bit too narrow for my liking. And that's a personal opinion. I mean,
daily driver, not a sports car, invalid comment. Next.
Let's go to the next thing.
Okay.
The steering wheel itself at slow speeds, it's very light. I mean, you don't have that feedback. You don't have that. Yes.
Do you know what a daily driver is?
I know what a daily driver is. I drive a daily driver, but I have more feedback in my daily driver than this.
You drive a Charger. It's different. It's American.
It has more, I wouldn't say a sturdier steering to it, but you get, what do you call it, a heavier steering when you're driving at a low speed.
This is Italian. This is Italian finesse.
If the steering wheel at a higher speed, like now I'm driving at a, you know, a higher speed. Yes, I agree with you. The steering wheel is heavy. It's nice. It got that nice feedback to it. It's not. It doesn't feel like it's gonna throw you with a simple turn. It feels sturdy, and I like that at a higher speed. At a slower speed, it's a bit too easy to turn, if that's a thing. You haven't heard anyone saying the steering wheel is too.
So what your complaint is that at low speeds this car is easy to drive, and at high speeds the car is easy to control. That's your complaint.
Not really. You're just twisting my words to be that.
No, that's what you're saying.
Anyway, we'll continue with the things that
proven wrong.
I'm
next
I'm
point.
seeing on the car. I'm not saying I'm not liking it. The way it drives fantastic. Okay.
It's very smooth.
It's very smooth. The acceleration is very smooth. Obviously, you're not expecting so much performance. You're just expecting regular performance from a car this size with this engine and this, you know, this amount of power. Going over bumps, going over, you know, potholes, going over, let's say, normal obstacles in the road, it's comfortable. You don't feel them. You feel that it can go over these things with so much ease, and you're comfortable on the inside. Apart from these things, oh, one last thing. We're gonna show the glove box later on when the interior pictures come, or the interior review comes in.
Not important.
Have you seen the size of the glove box?
Not important.
It's fully occupied with the manual. That's it. It's either I can have the manual or I have my things.
You've got a boot. Put them in there.
So yeah.
Put enough space.
Apart from these things, I do still like the car.
I think though, to say that I
like the car, and I would take the quadrifoglio any given day. Yes, I might not buy this one for myself. I might buy it, you know, for my sister. I might buy it for my family. I might buy it for my mom. I might buy it for someone who's, you know, not that much into cars, would want a different car, a special car. For me, I would go with the quadrifoglio. With the right spec, it's gonna be it is a nice car. Now, the interior of the car.
Right, yes.
What you see over here is a lot of, let's say, wood. I'd reckon it has a wood feeling to it. So you have the
grain.
Okay, so a grain texture that looks like wood. Okay, which looks nice actually, and in this spec the color is
finished in a sort of dark greyish.
Yes, it looks really nice,
as you can see.
And you have the 8-inch touchscreen.
It's not a touchscreen. It's an 8-inch infotainment system, so that might be lacking when you've got your competitors. Yes. I can't remember whether the Macan does have a touchscreen or the Q5. But this one is operated down here easily with the
gear not a gear, what do you call it?
Selector?
With the selector.
It's quite large, you can't really miss it.
And you have multiple, you know, you have the option button, you have the menu button, so everything can be controlled from there.
You've got your phone, media, navigation, car settings, and radio settings, everything.
Now, if you go to the navigation, it's a bit awkward when you don't have a touch screen to zoom in and out, and I would give you that.
You press zoom, Ahmed.
Yeah, you press zoom, but then try to zoom in and zoom out. That's as far as you can go. You can zoom out further to see where you are.
That's a fair point.
Okay, so now
you got me there.
Okay, so now this is the navigation. It's not a bad system actually. It's a really good responsive system.
It is very responsive.
Okay.
Apparently there are faster ones on the market, but at this rate, computers and processors just, you're not going to notice it.
Exactly. And now the thing is, after that you have, you know, a lot of storage compartments. Okay.
You do.
You have your cubby holders. You have.
But what I'd like to mention about these cubby holders is they can actually hold pretty big drinks. I did have a
1.5 liter bottle, the big one.
Yeah, the big one.
That would fit easily over there.
Yep.
You have your armrest.
Yep, and that's
compartment.
Quite big.
Okay.
And I believe it is refrigerated.
Yes, and there is a wireless symbol inside it. I don't know what's that for, but it just shows wireless.
It does.
Yeah.
There's also an aux cable and 2 USBs.
Yeah, and then you have also, obviously, on the sides you have the
side bins.
The side bins, exactly. And you have this teeny tiny glove box that holds nothing but, well, just the manual.
Yeah, well, that's all you need.
So, moving from the storage and moving from the infotainment system to the main center of attention when you're driving the car, which is the gauge cluster.
Yes.
I mean, you have the gauge cluster in front of you
do.
with the 2 big dials, okay?
Yep.
And in between it you have the central digital screen.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, you're looking at it through the steering wheel, which has the flappy paddles, and it has that big nice symbol of Alfa Romeo.
Yes, you do have a very sporty feeling in this car, and it is, for those perhaps that do like the sportiness and you are in it, but you obviously are afraid of the engine or something like that, it does give you a nice sense, and you do feel special.
We have in this car also the panoramic sunroof.
We do.
Okay.
We're not going to open it because there's no need to open it. It's too sunny.
It's very sunny.
It's not that we can't not open it, it's just too sunny.
Yes, it's very sunny and it's very hot outside.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want the sun. So we have a panoramic sunroof over here. And you have also a way to open it to vent.
Yeah, which we could do, but obviously it's far too hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
After this, you have also your auto-dimming mirror, the rear view mirror. You have auto-dimming driver's side mirror, if I'm not mistaken, not the passenger side, or I could be wrong. Both of them could be dimming, but I've noticed the driver's side mirror is the one to be dimmed the most.
2 idiots fumbling through a review. But no, the car has everything obviously you'd expect.
Exactly.
It's got the mirrors, it's got usage. One thing that people are going to be looking for, it's got 5 USB cables or places to charge your phone from. It's got, I think, 2 aux cables placement, one here under the armrest and one at the back.
So now, since we're at the front and this is a family car, I think what we should do is jump into the back and see how it feels like.
Or you could go in the back and I could stay rather comfortably.
No. We'll jump into the back.
Yeah, if you say so.
Both of us. Now, we're in the back.
Sort of.
Literally. I'm in the same seating position as I was at the front.
I'm in your seating position.
But there is plenty of room actually over here, for me at least. But for you, I'm not so quite sure that there is enough.
Well, I'm all upper body, so let's say if I sit up straight, it's like literally banging my head, but there we go, that means I have to drive.
So it's either that you drive or you sit in the passenger seat, that's it, but
God
not
bless
on the
whoever
back.
has to sit behind me.
But also
the leg room on my side, I've not got very long legs.
My side, I do have some leg room, which is,
but
it's
if
decent.
you were an inch taller, you wouldn't.
No, and even if the guy in front of me had his seat a little
further back.
Yeah, exactly. But over here you have the storage, what do you call it, nets, okay, and you have on the side also the
side bins.
The side bins.
You also do have armrest.
Oh,
that I can just put some drink
it's not a bad place to be, especially when the
honestly,
sunroof opens
I could
up.
do short journeys here. I mean, I couldn't travel across Europe in the back.
You're not hitting your head to the roof. Or
on the panoramic, but on the sides of the roof here.
Okay.
And here. What I am finding though, that this is quite harsh. It's not smoothed off. So when I do hit my head, I really do hit my head. So I wouldn't advise gigantic people to sit at the back.
Okay. So going to the trunk or the back of the car. It has actually plenty of space. What are you doing over here? Well, this shows that it has plenty of space. So
you can move the seats back.
You have a lot of room. You can move the seats back. You can have one human size Louis inside.
One giant man.
So, what do you think of the space in the car? Apparently, you have a lot of spacing over here. It's actually spacious.
It is very spacious at the back.
Yes.
And to undo the
chairs,
and move them down is 2 simple clasps.
Exactly.
There's a lot of tie-down space, lighting, and cubby holes in the boots themselves. But as well, a large subwoofer.
It's, I mean, just like we said, it's a family car.
Yep.
So it can hold you and the family and the groceries all at the same time, depending where you are in the formula.
And the dog.
And a dog. So we'll go to the front and see our thoughts, our final thoughts about the Alfa Romeo.
So to round off,
final thoughts on the...
Yep. So what are your final thoughts?
I love the car.
Yeah,
I love
you
the
love
way
the way it looks.
Yes, I love.
So do I. I don't think anybody can truly look at this thing and say it's a very ugly car, because it's not.
I love the way it looks. I love the way, from the front, from the back, even from the inside, it looks nice. Yes,
does.
I do have my own concerns and I do have my own, you know, things that I don't like on the interior, but it wouldn't put me off buying it. I would think that I would be considering the car.
Yes, to be honest.
Among others.
Yes.
But it will be one of my, it will not be a definite no.
I would purchase one. I would definitely purchase one. I would purchase, this isn't the model necessarily I would purchase, because I would be looking at the quadrifoglio.
Exactly, me and you.
100%, but we're car guys, this is what we're after. I would 100% get one of these as a daily driver for my mum.
So I do actually think it's a decent buy. It's a good car.
And we have to say, I'd like to thank Zach at the marketing department for, well, just about half of Bahani's cars. Jeep, Chrysler, Alfa Romeo, Dodge, Ram, just what seems like to name a few. He gave us a wonderful opportunity. I'd like to thank the sales ladies in the Alfa Romeo dealership.
They were very nice, very cooperative.
Yeah, everything went fantastic.
And I would like to thank you all for watching and staying all the way to the end. Actually, it means a lot to us.
Yes, it does.
So
definitely does.
I think this is wrapping up the review of the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Until our next review, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and just tell us if we got any pronunciation wrong when it comes to the Italian.
Tell Ahmed, because I obviously got everything right, and I know that you're really here for me. So if you could let me know you're here for me, just, you know, inflate my ego a little bit more and deflate Ahmed's a little bit, even though he doesn't have an ego. Just make mine bigger, because, you know, I deserve it, because I'm completely the best person in the world.
And turn on the notification bell. Until next time, just drive.
Bye.